All right, let's jump right in. We have an urgent security bulletin to talk about, and it's all about IBM's API Connect. If you're using this system, you're going to want to pay close attention. This isn't just some routine update. It's a critical warning about a major security flaw that could leave your entire system exposed. So, just how serious is this? Well, the vulnerability is being tracked as CVE-2025-13915, and get this, it has a staggering 9.8 out of 10 score on the CVSS scale. To put that into perspective for you, anything over 9.0 is already in the critical red zone. A 9.8, that means this thing is about as dangerous as it gets. And look, this isn't just speculation. This is the official word coming straight from IBM's own security bulletin. Let me just repeat the most important part of that. A remote attacker could bypass authentication and gain unauthorized access. In plain English, that means someone, anyone, from anywhere in the world could potentially get inside your system without needing any credentials at all. To really understand the stakes here, we first need to take a quick look at what IBM API Connect actually is, and more importantly, who's relying on it every single day. Okay, think of API Connect as kind of like the central traffic controller for how modern apps talk to each other. You know, when you use an app on your phone to book a flight, it's an API that securely connects that app to the airline's database. Well, API Connect is the tool that huge companies use to build and manage all those vital communication lines, whether they're in the cloud or on their own servers.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting. We're not talking about some small niche product here. We are talking about major global players. You've got airlines like Etihad, massive banks like the State Bank of India and Axis Bank, and huge tech firms. The potential impact of this flaw is, well, it's widespread and it's pretty significant.
So, how does this vulnerability actually work? Let's dive into the mechanics of this digital backdoor and see exactly why it's so incredibly dangerous. This slide really breaks it down perfectly. Normally, you show up with your key, your username and password, and the system checks it and lets you in. Simple enough. But with this flaw, an attacker can craft a special request that basically tricks the system into thinking that verification has already happened. So the system just skips that crucial step entirely and grants them access. No questions asked. At the end of the day, an authentication bypass like this one makes your login screen completely pointless. It's kind of like having the most secure vault door in the world, but the attacker knows they can just walk right through the drywall next to it. No key, no password, no problem. Okay, now for the most important part of this whole thing. If you're using API Connect, here's exactly what you need to do right now to protect yourself. First things first, you have to check your version number. Seriously, pause this if you need to. The vulnerability specifically hits versions 10.0.8.0 all the way through 10.0.8.5, and it also affects version 10.0.11.0. If your system is running any of those, you are at risk. Now on to the solution. IBM has released a patch, and here's the three-step process. 1. You're going to go to IBM's Fix Central and download the file. 2. Extract the patch files. And 3, and this part is absolutely key, you have to carefully apply the fix by following the specific instructions for your setup. Please don't rush that last step. But what if you can't apply that patch right this second? We get it. Things aren't always that simple. So IBM has provided a temporary workaround. They recommend you disable the self-service sign-up feature on your developer portal. Now, this won't fix the flaw, but it will help lower your exposure until you can get that full patch applied. We're just about done, but I want to leave you with one last thought on why this isn't something you can just put on tomorrow's to-do list. The urgency here is very, very real. So here's the bit of good news. Right now, as of this recording, there are no known active attacks using this flaw. It doesn't seem like anyone is exploiting it out in the wild yet. This is your window. This is your chance to act before the bad guys do. And that's the thing, right? Just because there isn't an attack today doesn't guarantee a thing for tomorrow. Now that this vulnerability is public knowledge, you have to assume that people are already working on ways to exploit it. The clock is officially ticking. So the only real question left is, can you afford to wait?